Am I the a-hole for explaining to my husband he's the reason we keep having daughters? I 30 female have 2 daughters and am currently pregnant with my 3rd girl. We just found out this morning. On the drive to my husband's mother's house he explained how he was a bit disappointed about having a girl. But then he said I should have expected this because you have 3 sisters. I explained that me having 3 sisters have nothing to do with the gender of our child. He said it's genetics and that I'm the reason for our daughters. I told him that's not how biology works. He said it is. He then went on to explain that his mom only has brothers and his 2 oldest brothers both have 2 sons because his mom's sign. I told that doesn't make any sense because it should be the same for him then. He said no because both of their wives have more brothers than sisters. He was getting frustrated but I was just laughing at him. I explained that him and his oldest 2 brothers have different dads, but out of his dad's 8 kids, 3 are boys and 5 are girls. The men determines the gender. He said that not true because the kids his dad had with his mom are all boys. He dropped it and said he'll ask his mom who has a degree in biology. So we get to his parents' house for brunch and he asks his mom if I'm the reason we kept having girls. She told him bluntly that the men determines the gender and it's actually not a 50-50 it's chance. She then went on to explain that the more of one gender you have, the higher the chances that your next child is also going to be that gender. So he asked is it likely that he'll have a boy. She told him that if he keeps trying it might happen. He just walked to the car and said he's going for a drive. I received a text from him saying that I didn't have to embarrass him like that. I was so confused. Am I the a-hole for disinviting a friend from an event after she gave my ticket to her sister? Back when nearest tour tickets were released, my friend Sadie said she would grab us tickets and I'd pay her back. We made concrete plans and I was excited. I've been a Swiftie for years, but haven't seen her live. I had to sell my Rep Stadium tour tickets back in the 2010s because my mom was dying and I needed the money to help pay medical bills. I booked the hotel. This past weekend, I was having a little get-together for a bunch of friends and Sadie was of course invited. At some point she pulled me aside and told me that she had news. She is leaving in September. I was heartbroken. We've been friends for years and I love spending time with her. I got weepy and hugged her a bunch and said that we needed to get all our thrifting trips in over the summer and hang out as much as we could. Then she broke the news that as a way to bond with her sister before she left, she was going to be taking her to the Eras tour instead. I didn't know how to react. She stood in front of me and Venmo'd my payment back. She was like, I know you understand. I said that this was a sneaky move and honestly really shitty of her, and I don't understand how or why she would do that to me. She got defensive and said that they were under her name and that she didn't owe me anything. I was like, yes, they are your tickets. Legally, you can do whatever you want. But this is still a really shitty and sneaky thing to do to your friend, knowing that there is no way I will be able to get my own tickets at this point. She just kind of shrugged and said sorry, but I figured you'd understand. I asked her to leave and told her to please not come back for the 4th of July party next week. I said I needed to process this and that I'm really disappointed with her and how she's treated me. This is a girl who I consoled through breakups, job losses, pet losses, etc. She looked shocked and asked if I was serious. She ended up stomping off and leaving and texted me later to tell me that she's around if I want to apologize for making her feel bad about taking her sister on a bonding trip. I'm honestly heartbroken that I'm going to be watching my show on a grainy live stream instead of being there in the stadium with everyone. I was looking forward to this so much. I checked the resale sites and had a sad little cry about it. I am wondering if I am completely wrong to have just uninvited her. Is that too far? If it was in, say, a month or 2, I don't think I would have. I just need time. Am I the a-hole for not siding with my wife and agreeing with my mother after she did a group punishment that made my middle child unliked by the other kids? Edit. Jamie has been evacuated and nothing. Also, even if he did have something, I still think it would be fair game with what my mom did. My mother babysit almost all of the grandkids 3 times a week in the summer. I am very grateful she does this and it saves us a ton of money. In total she watches about 7 kids, and one of those kids is my middle child's son, Jamie. Jamie is a lot sometimes. He is 8 years old, and compared to his younger sister he is less behaved. My mother has talked to my wife and I multiple times about him. She has done recommended timeouts. Overall he doesn't behave much better after them. We have both talked to him about it but no improvement. This is the issue. My mom was going to take all the kids to the pool with my dad. Jamie would not stop goofing around, running around, grabbing the other kids' pool stuff and in general being loud, annoying. My mom told him if he didn't stop then no one would be going to the pool. He didn't stop and she held true to her word. The rest of the day, all the kids were mad at him. I picked them both up and she informed me about what happened. Mom told me he behaved the rest of the day after that. Jamie was very upset about no one liking him. The kids basically ignored him. Even my youngest was pissed off at him. My mother told me that he needs to learn his actions affect other people and I agree with her. I am 100% fine with her using social dynamics to get him to behave. It also seemed to work. She plans to take the kids to pool on Friday. I told my wife what happened and she is pissed that my other did this. We had an agreement and she thinks I am being a huge jerk for agreeing with my mom. Am I the a-hole for not getting my stepdaughter a big sister gift? I've been married to my husband for 3 years. He has a daughter from a previous marriage, Callie 7. I ended up pregnant around the same time as my husband's ex, Callie's mom, Sandra. She gave birth 2 months after me. We didn't talk much about it. My husband and I did talk to Callie about the baby. We read her books about it, assured her that she always be our family, we love her, etc. This baby is an addition to our family, not replacing her in any way. I know Sandra and her husband had a similar talk. We validated Callie's feelings on the subject. Anyway, I had a baby shower and Callie was there. She also went to her mother's. Sandra's was after mine. Lots of people at that shower got stuff for Callie, as well as the baby, which I thought was sweet. No one had gotten her anything at mine, but my friends and family always do on Christmas and her birthday. This was a party for me and my husband, so I didn't think anything of it. After all, we'd never expect anything on her birthday or any other celebration for her. I had my son. Callie was super excited to meet him. She brought him a teddy bear that Sil had taken her to get for the baby. Sil husband's sister kept hinting at if there was a gift for Callie. I didn't think much of it at the time. Then Sandra had her daughter. Sil bought her a bear for Callie to get. Sandra and her husband had a ton of gifts for Callie to celebrate her becoming a big sister. Again, very sweet. Didn't think much of it. My son is 3 months. When Sandra was dropping off Callie the other day, she asked to speak to me privately. She asked why I still hadn't gotten Callie a big sister gift. I said that I didn't know it was expected. Sandra said it's normal. She kept harping on the subject. Finally, I snapped and said, I have enough going on. Callie doesn't need a gift. This is about my son. We will celebrate Callie on her birthday and whenever she has a big event. I'd never expect someone to get something for my son when those events happen, as that'll be about Callie and not him. Now, some of my LS are mad at me. My husband agrees with me that we didn't have to get Callie anything and has told Sandra that. To be clear, Callie hasn't said anything about this. She didn't hear the argument or anything. According to Sandra, she's expressed extreme disappointment. We haven't had any issues with Sandra until this point and I don't want to rock the boat. But I also find this whole thing ridiculous. Am I the a-hole for refusing to take care of my sister when our mother passes? My father expects me to move my sister in and take care of her like a child or something. My sister, 37, is more than capable of getting a job and becoming an adult, but everyone always allowed her to get away with being childish. She is healthy and mentally all there, just never had a job or license. She lives with our mother, whose health is no longer great. I'm 39 and have 3 kids and work 60 hours a week. I have no plans or interest in raising or taking care of anyone else. I already take our mother to her DRS and other appointments. I bring her meals and make sure she is taking her meds. Recently, my father asked what I was going to do about my sis when our mother passes. She had a bad health scare and was in the hospital for weeks. He knew I was bringing groceries to my sis and making sure bills were paid while she was in the hospital. I told him she can live on the streets. He got upset and said I can't do that to her. Told him I have no plans on taking care of any more people. Did that since I was a child. Our mother has mental health issues and his father, our grandfather, lived with us and I took care of him. Cooking meals, cleaning his room, and doing his laundry. Told him if he didn't want her to be homeless then he can move her in. His wife won't allow that. He thinks I'm being unreasonable and cruel. I told think she is my problem, but am I the asshole for feeling that way?